So let's talk about Everest then. I read somewhere that it was your toughest challenge. Was that true?
Yeah, it was definitely the most dangerous thing I've ever done. Probably the stupidest thing I've ever done, to be fair. You know, I'm a husband and a father of 5. With Everest, which I massively took for granted, was the altitude, the unpredictable weather, and the commercial climbers on the mountain. You know, a combination of all three, it's out of your control. You know, you can be stuck on the top near the summit in a storm because the weather's come in, even though it's been, you know, told on the forecast that it's going to be a good day. You can never predict it at 9,000 meters, 28,000 feet, whatever it is. You know, cruising altitude of a jet, you can't predict the weather coming in. You get stuck up there at that altitude where there's no rescue, no helicopter rescue. It's self-reliant. And then you put in commercial climbers that have been dragged up the mountain, that are incompetent. And when these storms do kick off, they can't do anything. They just freeze and go. There's one way on and off that mountain. It doesn't matter how qualified you are or how good you are. If you're stuck in the wrong time, at the wrong place, with the wrong weather, like I was, you're done for. You know, it really is out of your control. If people have fallen off the mountain and the rope's taken, you can't just, you know, you have to clip on because you're going to get blown off the mountain. You can't just run across the mountain at that altitude, especially near the summit, especially on the Hillary Step when there's one way on and off. There's loads of factors that are so dangerous about that mountain that I didn't realise, but I soon realised very, very quickly. And why it was so dangerous and it was out of my hands. It's not like being in the military where you've got a group of very capable individuals, you know, you've got ammunition, you've got a weapon, you know, you can control the situation as much as you can really, you know, you can move. Here, you know, you're stuck up there, nowhere to go, you're running out of oxygen, you need to get off the mountain, but you can't because of incompetent climbers or the weather, etc., etc. It just showed me how vulnerable we are as humans. And it sort of sucked all my superhuman powers out of me. You know, I felt it's sort of invincible before that. Then I realised actually Mother Nature can snatch you away just like that. So the reason why it was so dangerous is because it was out of my control, and it's the first time in my life that my life has been on the line, and there was nothing I could have done about it.
Your team that you went up with, were you with the 2-3 people? Presumably you had a local Sherpa taking you up there. Tell us about the team that you were with.
Oh, it was myself, Ed Ward, who was a cameraman, and 2 Sherpas. But me and Ed got split up on the way back down due to a storm at the summit. The winds came in 60, 70 kilometres an hour, complete whiteout, people getting blown off the mountain. I was the last one off the summit, so I was stuck behind a massive queue. There was probably about 10, 15 people between me and Ed, my cameraman, and his Sherpa, so they had to go, they had to get off the mountain, and they got down 4 hours before us. So just a matter of 5 minutes, me waiting at the top to be the final person, you know, the highest person on the mountain, nearly cost me my life.
What did it feel like being at that top, surveying that whole view for you?
I look at the summit and I don't really remember the summit. You know, the summit wasn't the achievement for me. The achievement was getting off the summit and back down to base camp, which took a few days. Just the whole disaster that happened from the summit to Camp 4, coming down, pure survival instinct kicked in. You know, it was a case of no one else mattered. I needed to get off the mountain. I was going to die. People around me were dying anyway. It got so serious that I've almost the summit, I don't remember what happened on the summit. I was just like, yeah, I'm on top of the world, phone call to the wife, and then the big main bit for me, what I remember is the nightmare, the disaster of getting down. But having come through that, that was the highlight of my journey, that whole experience of escaping death. So I don't really, it's a shame really, because I don't really feel like I've achieved anything by climbing the mountain. I've learned more about myself, which is great, and I grow from that. But the achievement of standing on top of the world, that's eradicated. That's neither here nor there. It doesn't really mean anything to me, or I can't really remember much of it.